What a great way to start an annual meeting. Thank you, Annie Schwartz. Welcome to our fiscal year 21 annual meeting. I'm Jerry Presti, and this is my 5th year serving as president and CEO of the Music Settlement. With the arrival of this annual meeting time, I look back over the past year and I find that the challenges and obstacles of the prior year, along with the unbelievable accomplishments and opportunities, give me confidence and an expectation of a bright future for what lies ahead for TMS and for all of us. I oftentimes reflect on my first months as president and CEO of TMS, and I joyfully recall an exercise that I conducted at my first all-organizational meeting in August of 2017. At that first meeting, I asked our employees to share their why. Why do they work at the Music Settlement? This exercise stemmed from the popularized concept of why, created by author and thought leader Simon Sinek. He's an unshakable optimist who believes in a bright future and our ability to build it together. His belief is that the why, or the purpose of engagement with someone or something, will sustain employees through the inevitable ups and downs. What is my why? Why am I here? Well, it goes without saying that I'm here because I truly believe in our mission to welcome all to our music and arts community to learn, create, inspire, and heal. And my why is my passion for our community and how, in all times, but especially in times of challenge and adversity, we come together to deliver our mission. And in doing so, we teach, create, inspire, heal, and transform people through arts and education. When I reflect upon our employees' devotion and zeal for their work at TMS, I'm reminded of a quote from Thomas Watson Sr., who was the former chairman and CEO of IBM. And he said, "To be successful, you have to have your heart in your business and your business in your heart." The 70 responses to the question posed to our employees, "Why do you work at the Music Settlement?" reflects Watson's sentiments. And here are 3 of them. One person said, "Because of the difference we make in people's lives and because of connections, the relationships I've developed and nurtured with clients, families, and partners." Another said, "To provide my students with the beautiful power and discipline that is music. It helps form the child as a human in so many ways." And still a third said, "To combine the love of arts and music with passion for teaching early childhood." These are just a few of the statements that literally brought tears to my eyes. All of you present this evening have your own personal why as to why you are connected to the Music Settlement. You have an important role and relationship with TMS. It is because of you and your contributions of time, talent, and treasure that we not only survived the months of this pandemic, but in many ways we have thrived, with opportunities born of innovation, collaboration, and creating alternative ways to serve the members of our community. So many of the experiences and results of the past year have created immense excitement and anticipation of the year ahead. While our earned revenue numbers took a significant hit after the governor closed our campuses and Bob Stop, it was about a loss of $2.2 million. During the fiscal years of 2020 and 21, we in fact received generous amounts of financial support from government institutions, foundations, corporations, and individuals to sustain our operations through the many months of closure and lower enrollments. We made substantial improvements to our technology, ranging from upgrades and acquisition of hardware and software like computers, a HIPAA-compliant program, a new telehealth program for our music therapy clients, live stream equipment for the Bob Stop, security enhancements throughout our buildings, to health and safety improvements like new air purifiers and UV lighting, among other COVID-19 safety measures. And significant focus was also placed on cybersecurity upgrades, protecting our network. We continue to work with our students and clients through a blended approach of in-person and remote learning and therapy, and we've expanded our audiences through live stream performances. In fact, the Bop Stop now has a radio program called Live at the Bop Stop. It is now broadcast on 14 stations nationwide. Our digital content now allows us to go global, and viewers are watching from as far as Taiwan, Germany, India, Japan, and the United Kingdom. Imagine that. Our foundational priority to make our services accessible to all never waned. We continue to provide generous financial assistance across our 3 centers, awarding more than $300,000 in aid last year, including full scholarships for the Passione Quartet, which was composed of students from the Cleveland School of the Arts under the direction of the Cavani Quartet, our TMS artists in residence. All of this and so much more was made possible by the fortitude and creativity of our faculty and staff, our engaged and dedicated board of directors, and the contributions of those of you whom we are thrilled to recognize this evening. Tonight, we express our extreme gratitude for the impressive support bestowed upon TMS by amazingly caring advocates. That support has allowed for and inspired an excitement and optimistic confidence moving forward. So our theme this new fiscal year, 22, is It's Happening Here. We are energized with the many new community partnerships, collaborations, programs, and services in play. So what's happening here? Well, I can't wait to tell you. Board members, faculty, and staff serve on our newly formed IDEA committee. IDEA stands for Inclusion, Diversity, Equality, and Accessibility. This committee's purpose is in part to ensure that TMS walks the talk of our mission, to demonstrate in all of our practices, policies, constituent relationships, and interactions, a diverse and inclusive community, arts, and education organization that serves the entire community where all are welcomed, regardless of background, culture, race, age, sexual orientation, gender identity, physical abilities, skill levels, and ability to pay. We're implementing a new financial software platform to improve operations across the organization. We're launching a refreshed website October 15th. Please make sure to check it out. And hot off the press, Bop Stop wins 2 awards from Cleveland Scene Magazine, Best Jazz Club in Cleveland and Best Blues Club in Cleveland. Go Gabe, he's our Mr. Bop Stop. Bop Stop's virtual concerts continue with over 1,500 donations to the free performances. And Bop Stop is partnering with Roots of American Music to produce a monthly concert series entitled Lift Their Voices. Each concert is inspired by a historical and oftentimes overlooked musician of color. The Early Childhood Center is pleased to announce that it now receives for the very first time universal pre-K funding from the county for financial aid and programmatic needs. And this is at our Ohio City campus. And this is in addition to many years of UPK funds awarded to our University Circle 5-star Step Up to Quality School. At the 25th anniversary celebration of the National Network of Partnership Schools, the Early Childhood Center's annual Arts in Bloom program was recognized for its successful collaboration between our school and the community. This program involves local artists working with our preschool and kindergarten students within a wide range of various art mediums. The Center for Music has several new outreach music program partnerships, a couple of which include a rock and pop guitar group and a winds and strings ensemble at the pretty recent Hawk and Mastery School, which is just down the road from us. An introduction to hand drumming at Brilliant School and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Ohio, and also blues and African American music at Brilliant School. For the first time in our history, the Center for Music expanded our merit-based scholarship program to the general public. We are now offering 10 scholarships to members of the greater Cleveland community. And the Center for Music Therapy is serving 10 agency partners, including Euclid and Shaker Heights High Schools, the May Dugan Senior Center, and 2 Head Start programs. We're also very thrilled to announce a new leader for this center. Amy Rogers-Smith will be the third chair of the center in its 56-year history. She follows our esteemed founder and my mentor, Anita Louise Steele and Ronna Kaplan. Amy's official start date is next Monday, and we excitedly await her arrival. And I cannot conclude this list of over-the-top accomplishments without a very heartfelt thank you to Ann Reed, our interim chair for the Center of Music Therapy, who, for the last 2+ years, courageously and gracefully led the center through many challenges and sustained its operations to get to the brighter future we have today. And I'd also like to thank my senior staff for all of the great work that they put in to make tonight's event possible. These transformative programs, events, and accomplishments are but a few that are happening here at TMS, and it is your generous and dedicated support that will keep them here, meeting the needs and interests of our community. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you, and we hope that you are as enthusiastic as we are for what is to come. Before I turn things over, I just want to make sure that I mention, when prompted by tonight's speakers during various parts of the evening, please to applaud or to vote, please unmute yourselves. If award winners would like to make some brief remarks after receiving your award, please unmute yourself to do so. Our Zoom host will then mute all again before moving on. And board members, you will need to unmute yourselves during the board business portion of the meeting when speaking and voting. Thank you for your cooperation. And now to conduct our short TMS business meeting is our fearless leader of our board of directors, Dr. Christopher Brandt.
Thanks, Jerry, and good evening, and thank you all for attending this 109th annual meeting of the Music Settlement. You will not be surprised to hear that this past year has been one full of disruptions, changes, and challenges. And in many ways, as Jerry mentioned, we had to relook at how we provide our services to the community. But thanks to much external and internal support, I'm proud to say we've not had to waver at all from the fundamental commitment to the mission of the Music Settlement. And in many ways, I think we're a more vibrant and creative institution, and you've already heard of some of the many initiatives and innovations that have been implemented during this time. And I and other members of the board are very grateful for the support of everybody on this call, and particularly grateful to the administrative staff under Jerry's really strong leadership, and to all the faculty for the resilience and creativity and determination during this challenging time, and leaving us in a very strong position as we look forward to the future. So thank you to all. So at this time, I'd like to officially call the meeting to order. As Jerry mentioned, there will be a few moments during the board business portion of the meeting that will require public voting. So we'll notify you to unmute yourselves, and we'll reserve any applause for the conclusion of the business meeting. First of all, thank you to the 2020-2021 Board of Directors, as you see listed here. And of those 26 members, the following listed here are renewing for a 3-year board member term. And there's one board member who's completing an 8-year term, Andrew Fiorella, and we thank Andrew for many years of dedicated service to the settlement. You'll see on your screen now a slate of officers. The officers serve 2-year terms, and this list includes myself as chair, Lynn Eckendorf as first vice chair, Daryl Deckard as second vice chair, Jason Padley as treasurer, and Stephen Miller as secretary. Listed on this slide are members of our executive committee, which consists of the previous officers that were noted and chairs of each of the standing committees as noted here. And lastly, on this screen is the list of community advisory council members. These are individuals that provide guidance on various topics and are available to Jerry for advice and support. I will now ask for a motion to approve the election of the officers and for renewal of the board terms.
Hello, this is Lynn Eckendorf. I so move.
Yes, hi, and this is Jack Waldeck. I second.
Thank you. Everyone, please unmute yourselves now to vote on this motion and approve the presented slate of officers and board terms. All those in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Thank you. Motion is approved. We will now move on to an update from the TMS West Board and chaired by Maura Hughes. Maura.
Thanks, Chris. TMS West is an Ohio nonprofit corporation that was established when TMS expanded into Ohio City with the construction of our second campus. TMS West is a 100% owned subsidiary of TMS. TMS West owns the Ohio City campus building, or the space that the music settlement owns in Ohio City. TMS West owns and leases the Ohio City campus to TMS. And TMS West collected $179,410 in rental income from TMS fiscal year 21, and $125,751 of this rental income was recirculated back to TMS for charitable purposes under the New Markets tax structure. During last year's annual meeting, the TMS West Board of Directors terms were renewed. However, with Andrew Fiorello's term now expired, Stephen Miller has been selected to replace him as secretary of TMS West's board. On the screen is the new list of TMS West directors whose terms will expire in 2024. I'll now ask for a motion to approve the election of Stephen Miller as secretary of the TMS West Board of Directors.
This is Jack Waldeck. I'll so move.
This is Lynn Eckendorf. I will second that motion.
Thank you. Everyone, please unmute yourselves to now vote on this motion to approve the election of Stephen Miller as secretary of the TMS West Board of Directors. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? The motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Maura. This concludes the business portion of the meeting. We can all now unmute for a well-deserved round of applause for our board of directors and their new terms. Thank you. It is now my honor and great pleasure to introduce our keynote presentation. And this year's speaker not only has a history with TMS, having served on our Center for Music faculty as a piano instructor from 1973 to 1975, but it's someone who music has always been central to her life. She's a talented musician who plays a number of instruments, including piano, which she was first taught by her mother, an elementary school music and piano teacher, but she also plays flute, piccolo, bassoon, and as we learned when taping her video, the harpsichord. Originally from Rochester, New York, she earned a bachelor's and master's degree from Eastman School of Music. And in 1973, she moved to Cleveland and has ever since been a leading advocate for the arts in our community. As the founding manager of Cleveland Arts Education Consortium, she has been overseeing this large, diverse member network since 2008. Prior to this role, she was the founding director of Cleveland Opera on tour, Cleveland Opera's self-sustaining education and outreach wing that has impacted the lives of more than 2 million children and adults. During her more than 3 decades there, from 1976 to 2007, She also created and directed all programs and productions and served as the company's main stage music administrator, vocal coach, and production keyboardist. Among her many awards, are the Young Audiences Arts Education Champion, the Vocal Arts Resource Network's Ovation Award, and the Ohio Governor's Award for Arts in Education. She is currently presenting concerts and educational programming throughout the region as a pianist with 4 singers in the Red Campion Ensemble. A valued treasure to Northeast Ohio's arts and culture community, including all of us at the Music Settlement, it is my pleasure to present an interview with Ms. Judith Ryder. With this meeting, as you know, being conducted via Zoom, we pre-recorded Judy's address earlier this month, and I want to recognize and thank our board member, Obi Shelton, who spoke with Judy and produced the video that we will play for you now.
I am honored to be here to help you celebrate the Music Settlement, a significant part of my Cleveland life. I'm a pianist by trade and a passionate administrator, fortunate to have guiding support from artists and educators dedicated to what they do and caring about how to do it well. I'm Judith Ryder, and I manage the Cleveland Arts Education Consortium, a 21-year-old membership service entity for arts organizations of all sizes and shapes. We invest time and energy in forming and guiding our members' work to build introductory and immersive programs across all arts disciplines, and to make those programs available to students at every age and every stage in their lives. The primary purpose of the consortium is to bring everyone to one table to share information and best practices together. We are proud that the Music Settlement is a consortium member and wonderful partner. My life in Cleveland began at the Music Settlement. It was the first place I taught piano and performed, and continues to hold a magical place in my heart. I loved the sound. I loved that I could, with my 10 fingers, do something remarkable that took me into realms of music that I never dreamed of. The arts in Cleveland are remarkable, and I knew that when I was at Eastman. The students that came from Cleveland were fiercely proud of what was available in Cleveland. That was a number of years ago, and it's the same. And there are more and more corners where small arts organizations are finding a stability, and I see that growing because it's growing with us, and I see it moving forward. As we're moving out of the pandemic and into the questionable pandemic, we have to find a way that we're combining safely in-person work that we're doing and keeping some of the best online work to connect our students, to connect our parents, to bring us into the shared wonderful world of the arts. The arts provides so much. It is language it provides us. It's unique opportunities to confront difficult questions and express stories that come from the heart and experience. We need it. We need it more than ever. It is essential for us to include all people in the arts, and that means reaching out to corners and neighborhoods that haven't necessarily been part of the arts picture. So it's been my earnest effort to, when I hear of an arts organization that I don't know, that is doing something in the center of Cleveland that I haven't been to, I make a point of reaching out to that person to say, you are welcome to be at the table with us. We need your voice. We need your experience. It will help us grow. After moving into other realms of my career, I fondly recall coming back to the settlement to hear recitals, play for Polly Tessmacher's voice students, even to play for early Cleveland Opera auditions upstairs in the director's apartment. Later, the harpsichord that John Baker built, the one I used most frequently for Cleveland Opera, found a happy home at the music settlement. It's right behind me. This harpsichord was part of many productions. Thanks for giving it a home here. The Music Settlement's ongoing dedication to provide the highest quality arts experience means that students are learning complex techniques to help them express themselves, tell their own stories, life-affirming. The Music Settlement, a quiet place, a special place, offering so much, a joyous space. For me and many, thank you for being a magical part of my life.
What a lovely story. Thank you, Judy, for all that you have done for arts over your long, stellar career. We are all grateful for your advocacy efforts and appreciate you being a part of our TMS family and annual meeting this year. And thank you, Obi, for producing this beautiful video. We now ask that all of you unmute yourselves and join me in a big round of applause. Okay, it is now our pleasure to move to the awards presentation of this year's program, the portion that you've all been excitedly waiting for. Since we could not all be together in person this year, our awards were presented in advance of our meeting. And as each word is discussed, you will see photos of those presentations. In keeping with the in-person tradition, however, we will ask you to please join in giving applause when prompted by tonight's presenters. And again, as a reminder, if an award winner would like to make brief remarks, please make sure you are unmuted. So now I'd like to introduce Gabe Pollock, director of our Bop Stop performance venue, to kick off tonight's awards. Gabe.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Good, cool. Good evening. I'm Gabe Pollock. I'm director of the Bop Stop. And I'm thrilled to be awarding 2 Cool Cat Awards this year. At the beginning of every year, I'm always thinking to myself, who's going to get this? And at the end of the year, for whatever reason, it's very clear who should get it. And this year is no different than years past. So, of course, this past year was very challenging for performance venues and musicians all across the country and across the world. But I also think for myself, it's the year that I'm most proud of. It forced me to get out of my comfort zone, and we are a club that generally supports itself with mostly earned revenue. And as we all learned, contributed revenue played a crucial part in getting us to where we are today, which is experiencing live music again at the Bop Stop together. So the Bop Stop's Cool Cat Award was created in 2020 to recognize an individual or an organization whose love of music fuels them to support Bop Stop's mission and enhance Cleveland's live music scene. And that our mission at the Bop Stop aligns very closely to that of our first recipient, the Live Music Society. The Live Music Society holds a belief that music is at the center of what it means to be alive, and they support initiatives and that promote performance and the experience of live music in our society. And not only did they support the Bop Stop, but they supported a lot of venues in our region, and they're just contributing to create a very healthy music economy in our region. And they are now in their 3rd round of grant giving. We received funds during their first round of grants. I believe to date they've given over $1.2 million. But we received our funding at a pretty critical time. We weren't sure, the Bop Stop's relationship with the Music Settlement is unique, and Live Music Society provided a way for funds to directly reach the Bop Stop. And not only did it ensure financial viability, but I will say personally, it gave me a lot of motivation to keep going. It's been a very hard year with lots of ups and downs. So being recognized and just having an organization say, hey, we believe in you, was really, it meant a lot to me. And I have to thank Live Music Society as well, because they keep me caffeinated in this very cool mug that they gave me. earlier this year. So thanks for that as well. But I would really like, I guess on behalf of the Live Music Society, we're going to be presenting this award to the organization's executive director, who has been a cat her entire life, but now she's officially a cool cat. That is Cat Henry. So please unmute yourselves and join me in congratulating Cat Henry and Live Music Society.
Thank you, Gabe. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I have our lovely award here. I brought it home especially for this. It is such an honor and such a thrill, and I'm glad that we're helping you get caffeinated. On behalf of our founder, Pete Muller, the board of directors, and all of us at Live Music Society, we're really thrilled, not only because the Music Settlement is such an incredible organization, but this is in fact our very first award. Live Music Society is a young organization founded just over a year ago by a group of very passionate advocates for live music. As Gabe said, we do believe music is at the center of what it means to be alive. It enhances mood. It creates a deeper connection amongst people and can really build bridges despite language barriers, despite all kinds of different barriers. It's a unique thing. And the Music Settlement and Bop Stop exemplify the very best of that live music experience with an intimate venue, excellent sound, beautiful sight lines, where artists and audiences can really create a special connection. So I'll just wrap up by saying we're so grateful to have contributed in some small way to the survival of our music venue grantees, the Music Settlement and Bop Stop. I can't wait to visit. I am in my second week as executive director of Live Music Society, and we plan to continue to develop our programs, our support of this essential music community, and our relationship with Bop Stop and the Music Settlement. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Kat, and nice to meet you. So as I mentioned earlier, we have two cool cats. So this next one goes to a very special individual who is also celebrating his birthday today. So if this was in person, I'm sure we would have Linda Allen play Happy Birthday for you. But Sean, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to skip that portion of the evening on this virtual edition. I would like to present this award to Sean Waterson. Many of you probably know him as the owner of the Happy Dog, but over the course of this pandemic, he's really stepped up in many ways. He's invited me to be a part, and the Bop Stop is part of the Cleveland Music Club Coalition, which has been around for years, but we just got involved recently, and we've been lobbying as Cleveland Music Club Coalition all year for aid at a local, regional, and national level. And on top of all of our lobbying efforts, the Cleveland Music Club Coalition would meet every week, and we're still meeting every Wednesday at 4 o'clock for not only, I guess, for professional reasons, but it oftentimes feels like group therapy in the music industry. So we can stay caught up on what every venue in Cleveland is up to. And the big benefit of that is, with Sean's leadership, the venues have really created a singular voice for the music community in this region. So we're able to advocate for safety measures, and all have the same policy across the board, no matter which venue you're going to in Cleveland. And at the same time, we can, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm sorry, I'm getting nervous, but we have a unified voice with safety, but also in terms of the Assembly for the Arts, which is kind of a brainchild of Sean and many others. But with Assembly for the Arts, despite what your tax status might be, whether you're for-profit or nonprofit, there's now an advocacy organization that sees the music community as one one entity, and that it really takes all of us to have a healthy music ecosystem. And Sean has really stepped up with National Independent Venue Association as well, and kind of got us all to rally our troops. And ultimately, this resulted in the passing of the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant, which for many venues, probably Sean would know, but it's thousands of venues are surviving because of this piece of legislation that Sean really helped, just helped to get approved. So Sean, it's been great to get to know you over the past year. And, we're all busy in our lives when we run our venues. And one of the bright spots of the pandemic is getting to see you and everyone else that's part of the coalition. So I just really appreciate your work, and thank you for always keeping Bop Stop in mind. So please unmute yourself, or everyone please unmute yourselves. And as we award Sean Waterson the second Cool Cat Award.
Way to go, Sean! Thank you. And Gabe, I'm glad we got to take a picture in person with this, because for a year and a half, Gabe and I have been existing Zoom like many of us, but like Gabe said, those Wednesday afternoon calls really got all the venues in town through this epidemic. We were able to link up with the national group and do some really incredible work, including getting both of our senators to co-sponsor the Save Our Stages legislation in a bipartisan way. And to date, and this number is still going up, I think over 360 entities in the state of Ohio have received over $270 million. And in Northeast Ohio alone, we're up to over 140 entities receiving over $88 million. And we think that number is going to go up to close to 115 million by the time we get through the supplemental grants. And this would not have been possible without the entire community's support, but it also wouldn't have been possible without Gabe's never-ending support. He has been an active participant in all of the work that we've done. He led the Reopen Every Venue Safely pilot work that Cleveland was selected as a pilot city for, to talk about what we could do to reopen safely for the musicians, for the staff, and for the fans. And one of the real privileges of being able to do this work is getting to work with people like Gabe. Gabe led Cleveland, certainly, in doing online programming. The live streaming that the Bop Stop did is light years ahead of what the rest of the community here was doing. And the fact that Gabe was able to continue programming nonstop through much of the pandemic is really a testament to how hard Gabe works and what an asset he is to the community. So Gabe, I thank you. The Music Settlement, I thank you. It's truly an honor, and it's an honor to be associated with all of you. So thank you.
All right. So I think I have to thanks, Sean. I'm like tearing up here. So if before I lost my train of thought, now I really lost my train of thought, but thank you. I think, so now we're on to Steve Kreger, who will be introducing Volunteer of the Year.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Kreger, Vice President of Finance and Administration here at the Music Settlement. I'm pleased to present this year's Volunteer of the Year Award. The importance of volunteers cannot be overestimated, and the efforts they put forth deserve our heartiest congratulations and recognition. Our Volunteer of the Year Award recognizes an individual whose unselfish and dedicated service demonstrates outstanding commitment to advancing TMS mission and programs. There are few people more passionate about TMS and our mission than this year's Volunteer of the Year award winner. There are no positions here that he hasn't held. From board director and donor to staff member and volunteer, he is among our strongest advocates, and there is nothing he hasn't done or wouldn't do for TMS. It is my privilege, both in my capacity at TMS as well as personally, to present this year's Volunteer of the Year award to Ken Horner. Ken found TMS through his long-standing affiliation with the Cleveland Boy Choir. He became a member of the TMS Board of Directors in 2011, and during his tenure on the board, served as chair of the Finance Committee, treasurer, and second vice chair. He was also a member of TMS Capital Campaign Cabinet. After completing his board service in 2020, Ken made a rather interesting decision to volunteer his time in a TMS temporary staff position as the interim director of administrative and strategic initiatives, where he manages some of TMS broader initiatives like the implementation of our Alertus emergency communication system. Ken is always the first to volunteer for whatever TMS needs, from greeting families in the atrium during the start of this fall semester to picking up donated items from the homes of donors. We are very fortunate to count Ken among our TMS family. Thank you and congratulations to Ken, who earlier this month was presented with our Volunteer of the Year award. You'd please all unmute yourselves for a big round of applause for Ken. There you go, Ken.
Well, thanks, everybody. Thank you, Steve and Jerry and Chris and the board and my wonderful staff colleagues. Look, I could not be more humbled by this honor, mostly because I know that I am just one in a sea of amazing community members who volunteer time, treasure, talent, and other things to TMS all the time. So I'm a soldier in a great army, and it's I couldn't be more proud to be in that army. It's a daily privilege, frankly, and a blessing to be associated with TMS. I continue to believe that music is kind of the great equalizer in this world. The one thing that is pure, the one thing that can be a true common thread among all ages, all languages, all races, nationalities, abilities, challenges, and just to be part of an organization in whatever way who uses the lens of music to project goodness to all is just an honor that's impossible to describe. So I'll keep my comments short, and I want to thank every volunteer in our community and all of the folks on this call with whom I gladly and readily share this award and this honor. So thanks to you all.
Well, hello again. It is my pleasure to present this year's Corporate Partner of the Year Award to Thompson Hine LLP. Thompson Hine's connection to TMS spans decades. Not only have they provided very generous, loyal financial support, both as a firm and from individual support from their employees, but they've also provided valuable guidance through their employees' representation on our board at various times throughout TMS's history. A full-service business law firm with approximately 400 lawyers in 8 offices, Thompson Hine's origins date back longer than the music settlement, but only by 1 year. They were founded in 1911, and they've grown to one of the largest business law firms in the United States. Year after year, clients rank Thompson Hine among the top firms in the US for client service, which comes as no surprise since their goal is to be the best law firm their clients have ever dealt with. Thompson Hine certainly delivers professionally for their clients, but they also do so philanthropically for their community. They have been very generous to TMS, having been the presenting sponsor of our 2019 virtual gala, back before going virtual was cool, and participating in our past Centennial Council and supporting our mission through our annual fund. But TMS is just one of the broad range of hundreds of community organizations in which they proudly invest. Like all of those Thompson Hine supports throughout our community, we are extremely grateful for all that they do. Accepting Thompson Hines Corporate Partner of the Year Award is firm-wide managing partner and dear personal friend, Deborah Reed. Inspirational, like our music settlement founder, Almeda Adams, Debbie is the first woman to lead a Cleveland-based national law firm. Thank you, Debbie, and everyone at Thompson Hine.
Thank you very much, Jerry, for that quite warm welcome, and good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor and a privilege to accept this award on behalf of Thompson Hine. We're very proud to be a longstanding partner of the music settlement. You know, we recognize its deep history. It's focused for many, many years on uniting society using music as a common language. It's built on the ideals of inclusiveness and opportunity for all. And Thompson Hine embraces those same principles. Our collaboration with clients and community organizations like the Music Settlement is just one way we practice our commitment to equity and inclusion. We also share with the Music Settlement a passion for innovation. And as Dr. Brandt noted earlier, this has been a year of innovation for the Music Settlement. We applaud you for continuing your quest to provide innovative new spaces and programs for music-based education, music therapy, early childhood education, and performances. And I just want to congratulate you. You're giving us an award, but congratulations to the Music Settlement for your important efforts. We're proud to be a supporting sponsor. We thank you very much for this award, and we look forward to many years of supporting and working with the Music Settlement. So thank you very much, Jerry, both personally and professionally. And this is truly an honor for Thompson Hine.
Thank you, Debbie. Please unmute yourselves for a round of applause for Debbie and Thompson Hine.
Now I just want to know where Sean Waterson's champagne is, because I could use a glass of that after a long day like today.
It's birthday champagne.
Oh, well, okay, that's all right. So then I don't get to share your champagne.
Okay, well, good evening. I'm Annie Schwartz, Vice President of Advancement, and I have the honor of presenting our Foundation of the Year Award. As evidenced tonight, TMS would be nothing without the incredible opportunity and support extended to us by those who are simply led by a giving nature and a desire to help their community. This is not only true of the support provided from individuals on our board, but also from foundations, which have made up approximately 20% of our contributed revenue over the last 3 years. This year's Foundation of the Year recipient has strived to focus its grant making on underserved populations or new areas. Their most impactful gift, however, may well be to the field of philanthropy. They are believed to be the first fund in the country to have been set up under the auspices of a community foundation and a major sectarian philanthropic organization to support activities that a jointly appointed board of trustees deems to be in the best interest of the broad community. This year's award, very deservingly, goes to the Trademark Fund of the Cleveland Foundation and the Jewish Federation of Cleveland. Founded in Cleveland in 1980 by Elizabeth and William Troyhaft, the Trademark Fund annually awards to their mission, and their board, consisting of 3 donor-appointed directors and 2 directors each appointed by the Jewish Federation and the Cleveland Foundation, has united around a vision of a greater Cleveland where every child receives the means to thrive. TMS's centuries-long history includes a very impressive alumni list of board of trustees. Among that list is Elizabeth, or Libby, Troyhaft, who served as a TMS director from 1939 to 1966. The Troyhaft family's lifelong legacy has been connecting young people with enriching experiences, and they continue to strengthen our community's capacity to produce positive outcomes for our youth. It is my pleasure to present this year's Foundation of the Year Award to the Trademark Fund. Accepting this award on their behalf is the fund's president and trustee, Mr. Arthur Troyhaft, who was presented this award last week. Arthur is the nephew of Trademark's founder, Elizabeth Troyhaft. Congratulations, and thanks for all you do. So please unmute yourselves and join me in a round of applause.
Thank you for welcoming me to the annual meeting. This was surprise and a very welcome opportunity to participate in what we believe is a unique organization and one that engages early child and youth in important programs that at TriMart Fund we seek out and like to be a part of their success. I'm going to share this award with our trustees next week at our semi-annual meeting, and I'm sure they will welcome this recognition and congratulate TMS for all the work that it's doing. It's a particular pride for TriMart to have an opportunity to support TMS, which was, as Annie was saying, a lifelong recognition of an area that Libby was very fond of and very much committed to and support personally and financially as a philanthropist. She was an early advocate, I think, for child enrichment, and she was I remember her as a person that strongly believed in engaging early child and youth with musical arts as a way of integrating their developmental progress. I'd like to commend the Music Settlement for its work today and its continued mission for, I forget how many years we're celebrating tonight, but
109.
109. Well, I would imagine today's mission really reflects the early mission that the settlement had 109 years ago. But today, what strikes TriMart, I think, is its engagement with an underserved early child and youth community in Cleveland. And we believe that's the right place to be. And we're all concerned about the progress that we're making. And I believe that Music Settlement is enjoying a lot of success. Just finally, I wish everyone at the Music Settlement the best success in the future and continuing on with your vital mission for Greater Cleveland. Thank you very much for the award.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Whitney Mercer, and I am a member of the Music Settlement's Board of Trustees. And it's my pleasure this evening to present the final award, an award that was created this past year in honor of a very long time TMS faculty member who really represented our organization in many ways, in very big ways throughout the community. And I know her very well. She's my mom. I've known her for my whole life. And the award this evening is the Ida Mercer Community Impact Award. So you can see my mom is here. My mother, Ida, taught cello at the Music Settlement for 23 years before retiring just this past June. And during her tenure, she served as the head of the string department and also the liaison for community and strategic partnerships, where among many, many other accomplishments, she created the Settlement's Signature Series, which was an annual or is an annual collection of premier performances conveying the personality, the character, and the mission of the settlement. So this award is presented to a TMS employee who demonstrates dedication, commitment, and creativity in advancing the TMS mission programs throughout the community. Completely employee-driven, nominations are submitted by TMS staff members, And then the final candidate is voted on by all employees. So I'm very excited to share for the first time the results of the staff's voting. And on behalf of TMS, I'm thrilled to present the inaugural Ida Mercer Community Impact Award to Gabe Pollock, who is the Bop Stop director. Gabe was nominated by the Center for Music piano instructor Ann Wilson for his exceptional service at the Bop Stop during the pandemic, and through his incredible live stream programming, outreach to media outlets and to the public through social media, and his lobbying efforts that benefited our entire community, Gabe is very well deserving of this honor. This staff selected award comes with an Amazon gift card, which Gabe will receive later this week. So everyone please unmute and join me in celebrating Gabe Pollock on receiving this award.
Yeah.
Thank you. Am I supposed to speak? I need a tissue. Oh my God. Thank you very much, everybody. I mean, all I can say is, you know, the past year was absolutely a labor of love, and everyone knows that the Bop Stop means a lot to me, and there's no other choice but to do what I did. I don't know. There was no question that we had to fight, and there was no question that it was going to be a tough year, but you know, you have to fight for what you love. So that's what the year was about.
It's not jazz, but it reminds me of a Beastie Boys song.
I know which one.
Congratulations. Dave.
Thank you very much, though. It's very kind and very sweet.
All right, thank you, everyone. Congratulations to all of tonight's awardees. It's very clear that the Music Settlement is a better place because of all of you, and we're eternally grateful for all of the support. So this officially concludes the annual meeting. Thank you all for joining tonight and all for you do to help us build healthy, thriving communities through music and through education. So have a good evening. We wish you all happiness and good health.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Night.
Can I say one thing before we close?
Thank you all.
Judy.
Yes.
Bravo, 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 and congratulations to all of you at the settlement. Your glowing spirit and long dedication to Cleveland and families and students is stellar. We are honored and proud to have you as a part of the consortium, but also as a part of this miraculous Cleveland world in the arts. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you who have won the awards tonight, but thank you for being a part of the Music Settlement. It is an amazing place.
Thank you, Judy. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.